Welcome to my video about how to create boards and sections and how to pin content onto Pinterest. So what is a board? Here on my account you can see a board. It's called Educational Resources, and when you click on it you can see all the material that I pinned when I found it. Sometimes I browse through Pinterest itself, sometimes I find other material on the internet, and if I think I could use it in class, I just pin it. Inside every board you can create different sections, as you can see, and it's really easy to stay organized and to kind of keep track of the material that you already have and so on. So let's open a board. How do you do that? I'm right now in Pinterest in an internet browser, and I have this plus sign on the right that I will click on. When I do that, it asks me if I want to create a pin, which is like an article, or if I wanted to create a board. I want to create a board. A board is like a folder, and I want to create a board that is for education. I will name that, just for practice purposes, I will name it Educational Resources 2, or I can name it Educational Resources Secondary Education, or anything that you want, okay? Or you can keep your board secret. This is good if you have boards on your Pinterest account that are maybe connected to fashion or cooking or something that is more private and you don't want your students to see. Right now I want this public, so I will just click on create, right? It takes a few seconds, and as you can see, it already offers me a lot of articles that I can go through and keep pinning. This, however, is not the best way, as it doesn't give me a preview, so I'm gonna say done here, and I can already see my new board with one and the only article that I saved here. On the left over here you have a button, like a little pen, that allows you to edit that board. You can play with it. You can add collaborators, so maybe another teacher that you're working with. You can tell other people on Pinterest what kind of a board it is, so it can connect you to other people. There are lots of teachers on Pinterest that have their own material, and you can subscribe to their, let's call them, channels, and so on. So you can always change your settings here. You can delete the board, you can merge it with another board. Let's say you realized after a while that you have two very similar boards, you can merge them and so on. Over here, if you click on this icon that looks kind of like an upload button, actually what it is it allows you to send this board to somebody on WhatsApp, to copy a link and send it via email. How do I add a pin to my board, however? So one thing that you can do is you can search through Pinterest. So let's say that I want to search for secondary education math. I just type that into the Pinterest browser. I click enter or return on my Mac keyboard, and there are lots of resources there that you can go through. Here, for instance, I see a math cheat sheet. I can click on it just to see what it's about. I can even go to that website by clicking further on the picture and read about it and see if that's something that is useful for me. If it is, I will go back to that particular pin and I will save it into the right place. So as you can see, there are lots of suggested board names. I don't have many boards here on this account, but I can click an existing board, and since my existing board has a lot of subsections, I can also choose a subsection. So let's say that this is about math, and that I want to save it into miscellaneous. I will just click save. Okay, so how do I create sections inside my board? So let's go back to my board. I will open it, and then on the right again you have a little plus sign. You click on it, and now it allows you to add a pin, add a section, or add a date. If you click on a section, you can name it, and then you can organize content inside. So let's call this math. You will see that that section shows up here. Okay, what if I am on some website like this one, and I was reading an article, maybe somebody sent it to me, and I want to save it. There are various ways how you can do it. Usually if you hover over pictures, it gives you different Pinterest save buttons that you can click on. One thing that you want to do though is you want, whichever browser you are using, you want to make sure that you have the Pinterest extension. That is something that I use very frequently. It looks like this. As you can see, it's right next to my Zoom. It's right next to my Zoom extension. And usually what I do is to add an extension, I either click on this little puzzle piece and then manage extensions, or if you don't see that puzzle piece, you can go to these 3 dots for customizing and controlling Google Chrome, and then you go to settings, and then you should have access to your extensions here on the left. When you click on it, you can search different extensions. Right, mine is installed, but for you, you will get a kind of a card that looks like this, and it will say install. You will click on install it. And then if you already have an extension, even if you hover over a picture and you don't see these little pop-up buttons, or sometimes they have like a whole set of buttons to share content on Facebook, Pinterest, or any other social media, you can go here, click on your little P in the extension toolbar, and it will ask you which picture you want to select. Let's say I always want to select a picture that kind of describes the content of the page, and then you choose your board, and then you click save, and that's it. Another thing is you want to connect, like I said before, with other people. You want to follow other people and other teachers, so you're not always the one searching for content, but you can also, like, use the content somebody else found. So if you click on following here, you will see my following is empty because this is a new account, but it already suggests some people, like this math teacher, and different people. I can try and search here by topic, education, and I can find a lot of people who are in education. I can see what they do. Or if you find a pin that somebody pinned and you realize that they have a lot of different content that is of interest to you, you can click on follow next to their profile, and then you will be able to get updates from that person.